Yeah, this is our history wall. Gives a sense, we talked about how long we've been around, 1934, established in the old City Hall. You can see, there's some cool
Are
photos
those
I
the
found.
folks?
Yeah, this is a board of directors meeting in 1938. And you can see different annual reports, just as things evolve for TAPCO really over the years. And here you can see kind of the evolution of our name. Started as City Credit Union of Tacoma, then Tacoma Pierce County Employees Credit Union, and now TAPCO Credit Union. 1948, each share of the credit union was $1.10. I mean, just
That's
how
wild.
things start. And again, I think it's kind of what we talked about. When you have community coming together, it doesn't take an enormous amount of resources. It just takes a lot of people that care about common things. And this is the annual report from 1935. There was $4,414.36, 127 members, 95 of them took out a loan.
Wow.
So you go from 9 people to
to
127, and
right.
you just see that growth continuing. And
That's crazy.
all rooted in community and how we build a strong community.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
I
cool to get a sense of when you're here, and for me, even the perspective of it's not just about here and now, it's building off the legacy of individuals in our community that wanted this financial space, in our case, that worked for the community, and now we get the privilege of continuing to build on that legacy here at TAPCO.
Hi, I'm Reed Fetters with Tacoma Rising, and today I've got a new friend, Justin Martin, with TAPCO Credit Union, CEO of TAPCO Credit Union. Justin, thank you for just jumping in. You had no idea what to expect here. You showed up with a smile on and everything. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate the invite, and looking forward to a conversation that'll be organic.
It will
how it goes
very well
about.
be. Wait, TAPCO, right?
TAPCO.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
exactly.
No, obviously joking. So for the people that don't know TAPCO that are watching, can you give a high level, just a high level, fly high? What's the term? What am
I'll
I?
give you a high-level overview.
High level overview?
Yeah.
My goodness. Can
I
you
can give
fly
you-
at 50,000 feet
Yeah.
or 30, wherever you feel comfortable?
Yeah, I'll try to get right at 42,000
42,
feet.
that's
How
even
about
better.
that as we go forward?
Please do.
Yeah.
Can you give us a rundown of who TAPCO is?
Yeah, TAPCO is one of the oldest financial institutions, headquartered here in Pierce County. Our start is really, I think, really special. We started 90 years, almost 91 years ago, in the old City Hall building. We were founded by 9 public employees, worked for the city, that weren't getting access to lending and decided to start their own credit union. And I haven't seen the space, but the story is that they gave them a closet-ish place under the staircase in the old City Hall. And
Really?
we were talking earlier, I have 2 young kids, and they're getting into that Harry Potter phase. And every time I read that part of Harry Potter, I think that's where TAPCO came up about.
I believe it. And now that they are, I think if they haven't opened up the space yet, the building, they are leasing it for sure.
Yeah.
And so you might have an opportunity here soon to go back and find out where it all started.
Yeah, we did some videos for them when they were going through that, and
no kidding.
just with that connection to our history there. And yeah, 90 years serving the community, and we continue to focus on how we can best be a good steward of this area and really promote positive change. We like to think that we're a credit union that serves those that serve the community. Our history is in public employees. Now we serve all of Washington State, but really we're rooted here in Pierce County.
Well, I'm starting to feel or understand the community vibe. You said it was 9 public
employees. Yep.
Wow, that's really cool. So it all began, and you're still basically doing very similar things.
Yeah, we've grown here obviously significantly from 9 members, but I think that really stays core to who we are. Is we exist as a not-for-profit credit union for our members. We don't have any shareholders or investors. We really look at how do we create value for those that use us. And what we've really been on this journey on, I guess in the last 4 years, where I've been at TAPCO as the president and CEO, in my 5th year right now, is how do we really look at ourselves as a community organization that happens to offer financial products, not as a traditional financial institution, which I think we'll get into some of our conversation today.
Oh, sure. Well, and now I understand why. I mentioned earlier that I feel every time that I see TAPCO, it's something around community, and you're always engaged, and that explains it. I mean, it's in your roots.
Yeah.
It's where you guys started, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah. It's nice and refreshing to be a spot where that's been our foundation, and really lucky to work with a really innovative board and a great group of coworkers and employees that really put it at the heart of how do we create a more long-lasting impact in our community that lives beyond any of our
Hmm.
tenure at TAPCO. And that's a rewarding spot to come to work every day and hopefully for our members to bank every day.
Oh, for sure. And that's leads to my next question. What is, and this is, I'm sure, a very loaded question, but what,
Those are the best kind.
yeah, right. Just one after, just
Yeah, yeah.
keep going. What makes TAPCO different than a typical bank?
Yeah, yeah. So one of our key strategies that we employ is this concept of a social impact banking model. And that's really at the center of what we do. And there's three pillars behind that. And we didn't make this up. This is something that other credit unions and banks across the world employ, a select few. But we're focused on people, planet, and prosperity, and just real high level, 42,000-foot level.
42.
The people side, how do we promote more financial inclusion where everyone, not just certain segments of our community, feel access to the banking system? The planet side, how do we provide access to sustainable products for the whole community, not just certain segments? And the prosperity side, which really hits on what we're going to talk about today, is how do we create generational wealth? And we have two big focuses underneath that. How do we get more people into home ownership? Because we know there's an affordability problem in our community. And how do we help small businesses not just get started, but to thrive?
What you just explained, how does that work? Why is that important for Tacoma? I mean, with the three pillars,
Yeah.
how does that work and why is that good for Tacoma?
Yeah. Well, I really think the pillars themselves are good. Obviously, if we can create more housing, that's great. If we can create more small business owners, we know that helps a thriving community. But really specifically how TAPCO goes about and helps Tacoma is through our method of collaboration and cooperation within our community to help be in the spaces that are looking to solve these big issues. And I think that's what's really unique about Tacoma is this is a community that wants to work together,
Hmm.
that wants to come together to say, you know what, how we're operating right now as a community, we can do better. We can invite more people into an environment where they're able to prosper. And we've really found that our approach is one where we try to always go into a conversation, never prescribing we have the solution, but really taking the time to listen and partner. And what I love about this area is we found amazingly smart people, nonprofits, organizations that are doing amazing things. And as TAPCO, the way we look at it is that how do we just help you do what you do even better? How do we put our unique expertise to work for you? And what I found is we've been able to do some incredible things. And I really think when I look towards the future, there's even more possibility because of this community that wants to come together, wants to work together, wants to make a difference. And for me, that's rewarding to show up every day, to work with people and in alignment with people that are trying to do good things in the world.
I think that's what makes Tacoma special and stand
Yeah.
out to me. I've mentioned this in the past that Tacoma hasn't been touched by corporate America.
Mm.
It's
Yep.
small businesses
Yeah.
and it's powerful. And one of the things that we try to do, which I believe you're doing, and I think a lot of other organizations and businesses are trying to do, are connect those businesses, have a stronger voice, a united voice, because there's a lot of incredible things coming out of Tacoma. And there's a lot of things that are flying under the radar and it's not visible to the outside folks outside of the
Mhm.
community as much from Seattle and some of the other areas. And we get this a lot. People will come to one of our events and say, "I had no idea this is Tacoma," and I was
Yeah.
like, "That's because we aren't promoting it enough, and we're not together enough to where we're really building that story of what Tacoma really is."
Yeah.
And I think that's what I really love about TAPCO is that every time there's something cool, I see TAPCO co-sponsored or involved in one way or another.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. W- can you point to something you've done recently that represents kind of your community, like one success,
Mhm.
um, something that you've been involved with that you feel that really kind of brings out your mission?
Yeah, we started a process almost 2 years ago with the Department of Commerce in conjunction with other credit unions and our association to support small businesses. It was called a Small Business Resiliency Fund. And what we did is we used grant back money to help small businesses get access to capital that traditionally wouldn't through the financial system. And so we were funding people that had a food truck that the refrigeration system broke down. They needed an $8,000 loan to fix it. They didn't have that money. Usually in a traditional financial system, there's barriers for
Mm-hmm.
that size of loan. We want to create more, make it more inclusive. And so we were able to step forward, fund a lot of those loans, and fund them in a way that I'm particularly proud about. We did it from a partnership approach, meaning we took the time to talk to people, meet with them, ask them beyond their loan, where are your barriers, where are your challenges? And that helps us shape as we move forward too of how we can better show up. And as we came out of that, and that grant money ran out, and those loans, which we did over $1 million in loans, and you got to think the average size was 15,000. That's a lot of people we impacted.
Oh yeah.
Another nonprofit that had grant money, based out of King County, but looking to do business around our region, had grant money for women and BIPOC-owned small businesses. And they approached us because of how we showed up in
Mm-hmm.
that program and said, we want to partner with you. And we were able to run a very similar program to help, again, individuals that own businesses that aren't traditionally given access to capital to fund their growth, to
Mm-hmm.
fund their dreams, that ability to do it. And I think as we look forward and look at those successes and we hear the stories and people that come in with real just tears sometimes of just
Mm-hmm.
how much it meant for someone
Oh
to
yeah.
take a chance on them and how that's helped them get out of I'm just surviving to thriving. That's the powerful stuff that I think when we talk about Tacoma and building the strength of our community, small businesses are at the center of it. And the
Absolutely.
more that we can put resources behind small businesses thriving, which I know you're doing through
Mm-hmm.
Tacoma Rising, the more that we can foster this innovative space where people are coming up with great ideas and having the resources to make them a business, it's just going to benefit all of us. And TAPCO really does look at ourselves. It's really our responsibility to be at the center of that.
The loan program that you were
Hmm.
doing, obviously riskier.
Hmm.
Did you see, did you feel that the risk was worth it? Were people paying the loans
Yeah.
back? Was it a successful program?
Yeah, absolutely. The short of that's absolutely. I'll give you a
Yeah.
little bit more because it's a bad podcast if I just do one word answers.
That's fair.
Here's our belief at TAPCO is it's easy to show up for people in times when everyone would show up for them.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that we can be in spaces where not everyone's showing up and provide solutions and solutions that are based in reality and based in success, but show up in ways that others aren't, that's how we're going to build a strong community. And when we talk about ourselves being a community organization that happens to offer financial products, that's what that really means is we need to think first and foremost about how do we build strong community?
Mm-hmm.
And then we layer in, can we make it work from a financial product side? And, I can say for this loan, over 90% of these loans have paid on time. Again, you put money out to people that traditionally don't have access to that money. I believe in my heart of hearts, you're going to see those same results. People are
Mm-hmm.
going to go, hey, this is not the norm. Someone, I don't want to say took a chance, but someone did something
Mm-hmm.
that's out of the norm. And there's a real loyalty to making sure that that money's paid back. And honestly, these are brilliant people
Mm-hmm.
that are great ideas. And like so many business owners, we have the financial expertise. They have the good idea. How
Yeah.
do we layer
Right.
those two
Right.
in?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, it's interesting because 90% or so, I know that was
Hmm.
a guess. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
really good, that's a really great return.
Yeah.
And that shows that I think to the fear that most would have to take those
Yeah.
chances, I think in a community like Tacoma where there are so many small businesses
Yep.
that just need help here and there, like
Yep.
I really, if you could give me this, I know I can get this.
Yep.
And I believe they're going to get it. And
Yeah.
that's the difference to me that Tacoma is than
Yeah.
other areas because I do believe Tacoma shows up and they
Yeah.
want to work, they want to grow and they want to do things.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they haven't had that support and it's
Yep.
made it tough. And I think when people can come in and give extra support and really let Tacoma be what they are,
Yep.
that's where they'll start to shine more than they already are.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say we're growing and learning and gaining from this just as much as the small
Hmm.
businesses. We're learning more about the needs of true small businesses. How
Hmm.
can the financial institutions step up? And the more that we're getting lived experiences from small businesses and their owners, influencing how we develop instead of prescribing what we think from a financial institution they need, it just unleashes possibilities. And that's the space we want to be in, a space that unleashes
I'm
possibilities.
right there with you, and I think we'll get into the pitch in a minute here.
Okay. Yeah.
But you mentioned showing up,
Mhm.
curveball. How are there other ways that Tapco shows up outside of the banking industry?
Yeah, I think for us, being in conversations is really important. We talk about it a lot. Our board talks about it a lot. Um, and being in conversations that impact the community, not just conversations that revolve around the traditional banking sense. Because when we're looking at really these big, I'll say, issues in our community, there's a financial component to affordable housing, but it's much bigger than that. There's a financial component to supporting entrepreneurs and small businesses, but it's much bigger than that. What we want to do is be in these conversations where innovative, creative, and smart people are going, this isn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
How do we make it better? And what we found from that is that allows us to be plugged in and invited in to other conversations that maybe normally TAPCO or a financial institution wouldn't be thought of. I can give you one example real quickly here. This is just a recent one. There's a financial component to it, but we were invited in to talk to Tacoma Public Schools. There's an
Mm-hmm.
issue with unhoused students, and we could have a
We
whole
we've
podcast
been
around that.
having those conversations too.
It-
But so yes, I'm
yeah,
aware, and I'm going to back up one
yeah,
second. When I asked that question, I said, "Are there ways that you guys do show up?" And I meant to ask, "Are there ways that you would like to show up outside of financing?" I didn't mean to
yeah,
throw you out there and
yeah,
said, "Hey, get out there.
yeah.
What are you
No,
guys doing out there?" So I apologize. I
no,
should
I
have
didn't
finished the
take it that
question.
way at
Yeah, I
all.
was
So
like, "You're
no
so
need. Yeah,
that was so nice of you to let that one go." And I was sitting there, I go, "Boy, I didn't answer that very well."
yeah,
But go ahead. I'm sorry. So back to Tacoma Public Schools and the unhoused, because that is, I was told there's 2,400
yep,
homeless students
yep,
around that,
yep,
which I had no idea the number was that
yeah,
high.
yeah,
And I mentioned our Kickstarter and some of the
yep,
other things that we're doing. Our approach is that if we can help them understand that these business is approachable,
yep,
there's ways of getting yourself through things.
yeah,
Um, and there's people out there that are willing to help.
yeah,
That's something that we found like, wow, this is an area that we can play in.
yeah.
I just jumped in and said, what we're doing.
No,
How
I
or what are you finding?
I think you're highlighting what I love about being in our region is there's so many different people that have ways that they can help. It goes back to how I answered your question, which I didn't think was a curveball. I think it was very nice,
Oh,
fair,
yeah.
yeah, nice
Well,
question.
thank you.
Is that when you're in conversations and people know you care about the community, they know you care about the issues that impact building a strong and prosperous community, they think of you and they refer you.
Mhm.
And my story with Tacoma Public Schools is it was other conversations that we were in. And Tacoma Public Schools was having a conversation around unhoused units, and someone said, "Hey, you should go talk to TAPCO."
Mhm.
TAPCO is someone that seems like this is an area they want to influence, and we'll be rolling out. We actually have an MOU, I think that was just sent to me, where we're going to support, along with Tacoma Public Schools, with Multicultural Child and Family Hope Center, with the Tacoma Dream Fund,
Mhm.
a program that is going to help unhoused students and their families get into housing in a real and tangible way. And I think that's a good example of being conversations. People know you care about issues impacting our community. Get involved with other people who care about, and you can do really special things.
There's Josh Garcia is the
Yeah, he's
superintendent,
excellent.
fantastic person, and I've gotten to know him over the last year. And they have the Jobs 253
Yeah.
program, which I'm sure you're familiar
Yep.
with. Um, Something that he's been pushing is how do how do they help students through the Jobs 253 program set up IRAs
Yep.
and matching?
Yep.
And I said, this might be a good place to partner with some local banks that
Yeah.
would be willing to match if they open up accounts.
Yep.
And so we had some conversations, which I know he had thought about.
Yeah.
That's another area that I feel like you guys would be really
Yeah.
good at, and to come in and not that you
Yeah.
guys don't do enough by
Yeah.
any means, but we're putting together an accelerator program for
Yeah.
high school students this summer, kind of a job market here. And the goal is that, okay, so if the students come in and they get the $500, will some of these businesses match
Yep.
something, because the businesses aren't paying for it
Yeah.
for their time. The city is, and wherever the $500 is coming from. but will some of these businesses sponsor? And is there a bank that would partner
Yeah.
with so we could do this really cool program and get them started in the right direction
Yeah.
at 16, 17 years old, or
Yeah.
however old they're going to be when they come in here?
Well, the Jobs 253 program is amazing.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to talk to Superintendent Garcia about it, and I'm excited to tell you last week we committed to supporting with matching on the IRA side.
So you've talked
So
about
we're
this
work
was oh
yeah, so we're
great.
working logistics of how it would work, but
Hmm.
we definitely want to step forward in that space. And so hopefully we can announce more to come there. But it's a good example.
I
Again, community people that
that's
care, talking about the same stuff and finding solutions to move it forward.
I knew he would find I knew he would find someone,
Yeah.
find a group to do it. And this we just had this conversation a couple months ago as we were putting the accelerator program together. We're trying
Yeah.
to work that out, and then how does it work?
Yep.
That's incredible that you're already having the conversation,
Yeah.
and
So
that it's
hopefully,
like,
yep, we get the
yeah,
logistics. I mean, we're
yeah.
talking how we get it, but I think again,
Well,
it
we're going
just
to be working with you at some level on that.
yeah,
Then I'm excited because that's one of the things we're going to try to do is find the businesses that will partner and match and do that. So that's exciting.
we get to talk
How,
more.
how,
We get to
how
talk more.
I had
Yes.
no idea.
Yeah.
This is great. This is what I love about these
Yeah, and these
podcasts.
are organic. See,
These
this is the
are,
whole
yeah.
point of not seeing
It-
the question.
but this is why it's the conversations and getting together are important
Yep.
because
Couldn't agree more.
everyone's working on different things and it's knowing the right folks to connect the other folks and working together to solve the problems. And we didn't have the conversation, but it's having around and
Yep.
just I think it's why I love Tacoma.
Yeah.
Like it's just like getting more and more people together. A lot of
Yeah.
things are getting done, and I don't think these things were happening 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And I think there's been this big push, people working together, and it's exciting to watch these
Yes.
things unfold. Um, so, okay, we talked about programs, and we mentioned this earlier that I I feel that there's a shift, a mindset shift from an entrepreneur to a CEO,
Mm, mm-hmm.
and it's not easy. It's tough because you're thinking, well, I've started this business. I work 80 hours a week, so I don't have to
Yeah.
work 40. And as I'm growing, I've hit my limit. I need help. I need to hire people. I need to change my mindset and to maybe I'm managing more people, but I got to figure out um, how do I grow my business and what do I need to do? And a lot of times it's probably money. It's raising money. It's finding help financially. Um, how does how can TAPCO get involved with that, or do you get involved? I'm sure you do get involved with that. Where's your part in that? How does that kind of connect with you?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're very fortunate to have a really intelligent small business team and a team that really, at their root, cares about people.
Hmm.
And I can say, working with them on a day-to-day basis, at the end of the day, it's not about a bottom line number with them. It's how do we help people? How do we help people? And in such a rewarding space, achieve their dreams, take this idea and make it a reality, and then continue to make it sustainable well into the future. And I think that's the part that can be difficult is having a good idea, don't get me wrong, is really tough to do. Implementing the idea is really tough to do, but then making it sustainable over the long term, that's extremely tough to do. And so, TAPCO does try to be there next to the person on the same side of the table, working with them, delivering areas that of knowledge that we can. And I don't want to say like in a mentorship way, but really in a partnership. I guess that's the word I'm looking for.
Hmm.
That is focused on how do we help you as a person. And I think long as that's core of what we do as an institution, we can help unleash potential of all these amazing, bright minds that are in our community to really do and establish special things and really grow our community. Small businesses are the backbone. We get more small businesses, we get more jobs,
Hmm.
in the whole cycle that goes with that.
It's truly relationship banking.
Yeah,
It's
truly at
it.
its heart. And I can say at its heart and at its core, we talk a lot. How are we impacting people? And that is the first thing. It's not what are the numbers, it's how
Mhm.
can we positively impact people?
And I gotta say, what I love about Tacoma Rising is probably where I spend most of my time, and it's uh, I think the reward of getting the events and watching
Mhm.
things evolve and getting to have the conversations, um, that's what keeps me going and pushes me kind of forward and having these conversations and connecting dots that you're like. a problem that came up a couple months ago that, like, how do we maneuver this? It's already been solved, and there's already, it's like there's things always working, and I think that's really exciting. And we get to watch that. We get to see those things kind of transform.
Yeah.
And so it's my favorite thing that I do is the Tacoma Rising piece, because we get to connect with, whether it's high school students or college students or young professionals or people that are, on their way out retirement, and maybe they want to step in, help some mentorship. It's just, we get to see that full life cycle, and
Yeah.
it's really really exciting. And you guys agreed to basically participate and help sponsor, basically partner with us. We'll say partner with the
Yeah.
the pitch that we have in a couple weeks. Um, what about the pitch got you excited, or to where you guys thought, hey, this is a great event that we want to not only do this year, but continue to have an opportunity to do down the road? Which, not holding you to all the
Yeah.
sponsorships. I
Yeah.
mean, the sponsorships will get more and more. No, I'm just kidding. But no, what was it about the pitch that got you excited to where you guys wanted to get involved?
Well, it comes full circle to how we started this conversation. At TAPCO, we want to be in spots where the community's present,
Hmm.
and we want to be in conversations with those who are trying to improve the community. And so when we heard about the pitch and we started looking at it more in depth, it really met that criteria. You're gathering people in our community that have great ideas, that are looking to establish businesses that will make our community stronger. You're matching them up with resources, with insight, with feedback. And I know not every business is going to go on, or every pitch is going to go on to be
Hmm.
a business. And if we're able to help some of them, that makes Tacoma stronger. And at the end of the day, when we evaluate where do we want to spend our time and our money, we really look at where are the places that we think have the biggest potential to impact our community. And kudos to you and all the work you're doing,
Oh,
because
thank
that
you.
really hit that square on. And we're excited to be there.
I think we had about 20 businesses, 25 businesses actually apply for it.
Yeah.
Some were not in Tacoma based; they're
Mm.
Seattle, and which
Mhm.
is totally
Yep.
fine. But the goal is that next year I want to double that. I want to have two stages, more pitches, more businesses, and I want this to be the big event that everybody goes to, and they get to connect with the young businesses or
Yeah.
see something they didn't know about and just connect. And I think I'm hopeful that we get a really good turnout with the public coming in. But I mean, just with the businesses participating, I mean, there's 75 people that are just involved in it, and it turned out to be a really pretty incredible event or a building to it. And so we're really excited. And honestly, to have Tapco involved it was really, really incredible to have you guys um, just partner with us. So thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you for the invite.
Oh
Thanks
man,
for the
it's coming every
conversation.
year. I mean, okay. My last question: um, what what's what's some advice that you would give? Let's take a step back. The night of the pitch,
Mhm.
you have a business go up there, and they do their 5 minutes, and they their PowerPoint or whatever presentation. They do their elevator pitch, and they basically lay it out on the line. And they ask you, what advice could you give me into moving forward and taking the next step? What advice would you give a young person, maybe someone that's watching or a young business mind? What advice would you give them to kind of move forward?
Yeah.
Like, what's some good of business advice that you'd love to offer?
Yeah.
That's a loaded question right there. There's so
I mean,
much.
there is so much in that. And I think I would start with what can sometimes be the hardest for us as humans is to ask for help.
Hmm.
There are so many resources out there that are willing to help. I mean, what you're doing with Tacoma Rising is a resource that's willing to help. I think so often we feel like as humans and small businesses, we need to do things ourselves, or it's an admission that we don't know everything. Um, Having that confidence that we don't know everything
Hmm.
and that there's people that have done it and there's resources that can help, and just getting comfortable with asking. I think that's the biggest thing for a small business or for a young person starting a career or any aspect of it. Uh, People I have found in my career and my life are more than willing to help
Hmm.
if if you ask. So I'd start there. The second thing is you're not going to have it all figured out, but keep going. Get started. move forward, and then be really flexible and iterative in the process. Uh, so often that we get stuck in, I have a good idea, but I don't have everything figured out,
Mhm.
so I don't move forward with it.
And that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. In fact, I think that is by far the norm.
Oh, it's
If not every time, no one has everything figured out. And
I
even if you think you do, you start doing it and you go, I
right.
was wrong. I learned
Yes.
something else. So get
It's
started. Yeah.
it's so funny. I've never once had someone tell me that they nailed their business
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
I got it. I
Yeah.
just A plus.
Yep.
No, never. And
Nope.
it always changes. And I talk about this a lot too with your business plan. You have a you have a game plan.
Yep.
You're gonna run into some issues. You're gonna fail.
Yeah.
And one of the things I always try to tell people that's where you're gonna learn the most. It's okay to fail. You should fail. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're not pushing it.
Yeah.
And it's not that you're not trying, but like if you haven't failed at stuff, then you haven't pushed hard enough.
Yeah.
You've got more to push. And I I always say failure is my best friend.
Yeah.
Like you get used to it, get to know it, and it's okay.
And be comfortable with
And
it.
be
Yeah.
comfortable
I
with
think
it.
so often the fear of failure can be paralyzing. And
Mhm.
you said it so nicely. We all fail. And if we're not failing, then we're not pushing
Right.
ourselves.
Yeah.
If you're want to really grow and do something significant,
Mhm.
you have to live on that edge of uncomfortableness. And if you're living on that edge, you're going to get some things right.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of things wrong. As long as you learn and grow from them, that's a good thing.
My rule is win more than you fail.
Yeah.
You gotta win more than you fail.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then you're probably doing okay.
Yeah.
And that's kind of I don't know, that's where I that's kind of my I hate to say it, but that might be my motto, win more than you fail.
Hey, I like it.
All right, I lied when I said it was my last question. It wasn't my last question. Um, what's something that you would like to leave with folks about TAPCO? We've gone through and had a great conversation
Mhm.
about who TAPCO is, what you guys do, what you guys stand for. What's something you would like to leave with people about TAPCO?
Yeah, as people are watching this and listening to this, if there's ideas that people have that can improve our community, TAPCO would love to be in those conversations. We really do value and believe in that we can't make big changes by ourselves. We need to be collaborative and in a partnership with those in our community. So at the end of the day, though, what is core and what we believe differentiates us in the
Mhm.
marketplace is that we do look at ourselves as a community organization that happens to offer financial products. And so don't hesitate to reach out, call me directly, and we would love to engage in conversation.
I love it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming in today and having the conversation with me. And I'm really excited about the pitch in a couple weeks.
Me too. Me too.
All right. Well,
Be
we'll
there.
see. Oh,
If you're
be
not
there.
coming, come.
I love it. All right, Justin, we'll see you soon. Thanks
Thanks
so
so
much.
much. Yeah. Bye.
See ya.